Donna Taylor. I was in the Peace Corps from 1988 to 90 in Morocco, and then from 90 to 92 in Ecuador. I served 2 years in both countries, and I worked with the blind. I transferred to Ecuador. I did homeschooling with adults, and I also worked with some local Indians outside of Ibarra, which is 2 hours from the capital, which is Quito in Ecuador.
Scott Clark, Ecuador 91 to 93, and I was in El Inca in the northern part of the Sierra in Ecuador. I remember when I needed to buy a bed early on, and I couldn't get a truck up to my village from the town below, from Pimampiro, but there was a truck going up above on the high road, so I ended up carrying this mattress on my head down the slope of a mountain about 300 vertical meters. But it was a lightweight mattress. It was actually easier than it sounds.
Kathy Bartos, and I was a Peace Corps volunteer in 1993 and 94 in Ecuador, South America, in rural public health nursing. My Peace Corps site was about 6-hour bus ride from the capital and then 4-hour canoe ride downriver in the Amazon jungle. And there was a health center that the Red Cross had built there, but they couldn't find any healthcare workers that wanted to be that remote. And so they needed both hands-on care, and then there were 26 indigenous communities up and down the Rio Napo, a river in the Amazon, that we would travel by canoe. First it was a 6-hour bus ride through the Andes Mountains, which is windy, and
just you, any other volunteers?
No, just me by myself, and still with very little Spanish-speaking skills at this point. And then we took another hour bus, and then someone met me at that bus station. Then we took another hour bus ride, and then we took a 4-hour canoe ride in. So you're pretty exhausted from traveling for the day.
And how many hours altogether? About 9 hours, something like that?
Oh, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, longer. So
wow.
About 11 hours. It was about more like, yeah, it was a full day. And so we're getting into this community on the Rio Napo in the rainforest, which is beautiful, and you've just left the Andes Mountains, and I have no idea what to expect. And once I met one of the persons from the community at the bus station on the bus, he started telling me of all the things we were going to be doing and these communities that needed help and wanted health classes, and the teachers wanted health classes, and there were medicine men, or there's usually a midwife in every town that also wanted to know if I had any supplies, and they wanted to know if I could do any teaching too for them. And they started telling me about all these different complicated pregnancies or injuries or sick illnesses, and you know, somebody in this community is sick and all the needs, and I was pretty overwhelmed. And then when we pull up in the canoe and it's almost dark and all these patients are lined up, and I have like maybe 2 Motrin in my backpack and not even a Band-Aid, I felt pretty helpless initially pulling up, and I felt they were pretty disappointed initially too, that what, you didn't come with anything, you know, and I'm just coming to check out my Peace Corps site here. There's definitely transportation daily through there, so somebody else would go buy it most likely, or if when they leave or go out, they could purchase it at a pharmacy.
Now, what was the canoe ride like? A pretty big canoe?
They're huge canoes with big motors. I mean, you could fit. Often sometimes we had a cow in one. We had pigs in them. We had chickens in them. They would bags of coffee or cacao for chocolate. So you traveled in the canoe kind of like a taxi for a small fee, all the passengers, and some, like I said, were bringing their different things out to sell upriver from the rainforest. So